Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aquarius, July 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, it's so good to see the subscribers back again. Do you know I love seeing you each month? Truly I do, and I particularly love seeing you. Now, of course, you would know, and others who've stopped by here know, that I provide one-on-one clairvoyant readings to people all over the world by FaceTime and Skype. And I also provide healings to people by FaceTime and Skype as well. Now, the spiritual gift of healing was provided to me on the basis that I get nothing in return for it, so it's free. There's no obligation, there's no catch, you won't be sold or talked into anything. And information with respect to both of those things is contained in the description, which you can have a look at if it calls to you to do so at the end of the reading. Now, let's see what there is for you this month. We shall see what the cosmic energies swirling around are, shall we, and how they are affected by the astrology applying to the energies concerned, the numerology of the cards, their elements, and their position against each other. All of these things together combine to make up a good explanation as to what is going to be happening. So show me the magic. And there is. What? Herald of Cups. Hello, Herald of Cups. Herald of Wands. Gee whiz, a couple of female energies. Five of Pentacles, another lady. Let's have a look here. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, isn't that interesting? And what's going on here? Four of Pentacles. Good. Now, why don't you, as is our practice, I'll bring the camera around, shall I, so that you and I can have a good close look at these really haunting paintings here as they reflect the cosmic energy swirling around you, and I'll do the reading for you. Right, so let's have a look at this energy that's here. Whoa, it looks like your governing planet of Saturn. And I don't for one moment consider Uranus to be your governing planet or a co-ruler of your sign at all. Saturn always has been, and to my mind is your ruling planet. And it is an extremely powerful impulse. And what it's doing is, it is for a moment enlisting the help of Mercury, Scorpio, Venus, and Taurus to assist it in developing your soul and pushing you back onto your soul path. Now, the thing about Saturn is this, before I get into the particular cards, is that Saturn is patient. It doesn't give you any notice that it's coming along, although you do now. And what it does is it gently pushes you along, sometimes in a way which is uncomfortable, it has to be said, because what the effect of Saturn is to take the material flesh, the materiality which is surrounding the soul, and crystallize it so that it becomes like sharp shards of glass that can cause some pain or discomfort. The other thing about Saturn is this, is that when it arrives and starts its work, it doesn't tell you why it's there. You need to work that out afterwards. But it does make sure that you are going along on the proper soul path. Well, let's have a look at this first and see what we can gain from it, because there's a lot of spiritual progress here, but great power, material success, energy, and love and abundance in your life as well. Here's the picture of someone jumping over a rainbow almost to reach a fantasy or an illusion, I suppose. Now, what is happening here? Well, here the aid of Venus and Scorpio have been called upon by your ruler, because it's Venus ruling the third decan of Scorpio, which is the 13th to the 22nd of November. Now, Venus, of course, is the planet of love and relationship, and Scorpio is about intensity, in-depth transformation, and also the exploration of yourself. Now, with the number 7 here, mystically, numerologically, I have an association with Venus as well. So there's a double Venus here. And so we have Venus pouring at great speed into Scorpio, and it has no brakes attached to it. The problem is that Venus is in detriment in Scorpio, and it can't express its sensitivity and emotions properly. The other thing is that the working of Venus in your mind, well, her influence is by no means producing clear-sightedness. In a way, you can believe, like this woman here, what you want to believe when you're under this influence of Venus. And so it may well be that you feel that what was a moment ago a source of lust and enjoyment has now lost its attractiveness. It's almost like the flowers let their heads droop, and the flavor of food has become stale. The emotions are out of balance. And it's almost as if I think there is some deep disappointment with you that has not yet been resolved by you. Maybe you've tried to cover up old wounds, but that tactic hasn't helped. Now, what can happen here is that one can get into negative addictions or intensity, which is the darker side of the Scorpio, and that can mean that you can overindulge in things, such as food, perhaps, because I think there's something that has affected you very deeply and changed you in a way which throws up its own set of problematic issues, behaviors, and ways of looking at yourself and at the world. Well, what this is calling for is what people might call deep soul work, but you don't have to do any work. It's happening anyway, and it's bringing balance back to your inner and outer values. Become aware of your conditioning patterns, that subconscious bag of regrets and words and issues and situations that have conditioned how you think about things and got you to your present position, and get in touch with your higher self and look again at your values and beliefs and discover your soul purpose and release unsupportive beliefs and patterns, and also integrate your soul self with the world and align with the cosmic law. Now, you have the ability to change conditions in your life by uniting with the higher vibration of the light. The lesson here, I suppose, is to remember that what is your purpose in life? And I think what's happening here is that there is an energy within you that is focusing on a tension between your higher self and this character that you inhabit in life, the ego, struggling with the differences between spirit and matter. And in a sense, there's an escapism or an emotional overload here. It could be that choices seem to be overwhelming, that your heart is unhappy and seeking reconnection with the soul, yearning to rejoin with the oneness that might have been forgotten or ignored but is always there. Now, are you choosing from wisdom and love, or are, with respect, delusionary ideas of fulfillment? Are they guiding you? You see, if you bring yourself into sync with the light of the divine, which could be through prayer or meditation or hanging around in nature, then, and appreciating also all the small joys of life, then that will bring you in line with your soul purpose. Know yourself and love yourself from deep within. It's a time, I think, to open your eyes and take a look at perhaps a painful reality, because only by understanding and recognizing your own inner reality, only then can you be freed, and every further attempt to avoid it is just going to increase a sort of a sense of stagnation of your emotional energy. So is there some disappointment you have not yet worked out? Have you experienced something that was maybe just a little bit too good? Have you overextended yourself or overdone things in any way? We all have shadows within us. Say this to yourself: as I recognize and accept my shadows, I reintegrate the real me, and the shadows lose their power over me. Now there's further energy doing here because your planet hasn't yet finished with this aspect of you, but when God tests, God also rewards, and you do have reward here. Now, here is someone who, to my mind, is sitting at the edge of time and space, waiting to come into it. Now, this is Mercury, ruling the first decan of Taurus, which is the 20th to the 30th of April. Well, the Mercury, you know, is that planet that's closest to the Sun, and it's really quick. It's kind of fluid. Well, it's in a sense weighed down by that fixed sign of Earth, that slow, heavy bull, which is Taurus. And fives here have Mars associated with them, which brings about also, with the five, an instability. So this could lead to brooding or even pessimism with you. It's as if your energy is blocked, and maybe your thoughts keep revolving around finding a solution, a way out, a breakthrough. And this situation touches the depths of your subconscious and goes right through you. But, as I say, God tests and it rewards as well, and you will be rewarded and come through this. Now, this is a worry time. You can worry about things sometimes, can't you? And I think there's also a bit of a lack of self-belief here. Maybe you're feeling that you're down on your luck, or even losing faith in yourself. Well, unsurprisingly, this is also speaking of soul searching. Your soul self is calling for you to reconnect to your spiritual self by regaining your faith and strength, leading to a change and this spiritual growth which your planet is now bringing to bear upon you. It really gets down to the heart of what true wealth is, because material wealth, as we all know, can bring about freedom, choice and security, which incidentally you are going to have. You'll deal with it wisely. But these things can also make you vulnerable to worldly problems as well. The riches of inner wealth, well, they're your spiritual strength and the strong love in your heart. They can never be taken from you. Inner wealth brings self-love. You love yourself, and you understand when you love yourself, you become beautiful to others. And there's a freedom coming here for you as well. Now, you can think there's some upheavals and changes going on, but that's that aspect of your planet saying, that's okay. You go through things, and what you go through and the growth that you get in your soul is proportionate to the aggravation which you have to go through. Small aggravation, small growth. Larger soul growth. Look forward to it. Embrace it. Now, there is something, I think, within you here that has been going on for some time, and you haven't dealt with it. Now, you might be thinking, am I getting myself into a situation I might not be able to get out of? Will events overwhelm me? It's worry. Well, worry is about past, which is in the graveyard, and the future, which actually doesn't exist. You can't do anything about either of them. All you can do is seize the moment. Your life is the moment. And also understand this, you will get this with your fine mind, that your life is what you think it is. When it comes to worry, I'll ask you this. If you were to know for certain that next Tuesday afternoon at 2:00 in the afternoon you were definitely going to die, would you be worried about the things that concern you now? would you be living life very much more differently? The thing with worry, of course, that it doesn't do anything, and it can actually make you put things off and therefore make things worse. Look, I find from my personal experience, and I know it's with others that I've dealt with, that if there is some issue that you just don't know what the answer is or how you should deal with it, give it to God. Say, you tell me what to do. It works. The answer will come back within 2 or 3 days in the most unexpected way. Now, I think now, with these two things here, you are ready to look at yourself as you are. And you have an opportunity now to free yourself by bringing about the necessary discussion, perhaps, with other people. See, that's the Mercury aspect of this in Taurus. The discussions, this conversations, either with partners or with yourself, importantly. But you'll have the ability to communicate clearly, and that's going to make things change. You might ask yourself, in what areas or situations are you not clear and decisive enough, and with which people do you need to clarify things? But say this to yourself now, because this is actually a really good time for you. I am ready to look at my life as it is and trust in the process of resolving my fears. I am straightening out my life. I deserve respect, abundance, and love. Now, I think that this is the tail end of that process which is enhancing your soul and leading to abundance and success for you. There's this card here which, well, she looks like she's about to set the world on fire. Well, this does bring for you success, stability, and security. I think something has been completed by you favorably. And you now have a stable foundation to start putting your new ideas into practice. But it does, as I say, at the tail end of it, also refer to and ask you to remember the need to re-evaluate your present values and goals. You might be holding on to something, such as an idea, a person, a situation, a job or a possession that is actually outworn. It's time for you to let it go so you can move on. This also represents the spiritual expansion that you have now undergone. And you do understand the difference between your inner and outer wealth. And it is bringing you the opportunity to get some peace and quiet for a while. And you rediscover your personal power. You've got the energy to change things and make things happen. Now, why I am particularly minded to say that is because I see here the Sun in the third decan of Capricorn, the 13th to the 21st of January. Well, Capricorn is very much about seeing the goal and going after it. And those people who've got the Sun in Capricorn, that is Capricorns, well, they've got a pretty realistic, grounded approach to life, I think. There's strong foundations here for you, stability. Now, you might have a tight rein on the budget. You could be financially cautious, saving for the future and protecting yourself. But with the Sun in Capricorn, the Sun here is energizing the Capricorn Earth, and material benefits and power are the result. Now, the Sun in astrology is the symbol of your dynamism or power, and Capricorn in this context for you is the making use, it's the application of that power by you in a way that is useful and achieves results. Now, there is a sense to me that this is a very materialistic card. I don't have a problem with materialism per se, as long as you don't lose sight of the long-term goal. But you might find now that you can go into a sort of a sanctuary where you can find your inner voice. You might be tested not to give your personal power away. And I think you need to choose about where and to whom you say no. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to get involved. See, sometimes you do just have to say no. I think that financial and material security will be very important to you. But you are willing to work for what you want, and you'll have confidence in applying yourself to the world. You will be a dependable person who acts with integrity. There really is here the energy of the fulfillment of your personal goals and dreams. But is your life, your behavior very rigid? Or does your life, your behavior need more structure? Say though to yourself, I have power now, and I offer my power in the service of love. Now, let's have a look at that fire card that was around there. You have good leadership ability, I think. It's as if you are holding a torch, showing others the way here. Let's have a look at it. What is coming up? Look, I think that she is the messenger of unexpected news that's actually really good. I think she could be bringing some good surprises your way. Also maybe some work opportunities, offers. She's saying that there is a change around, there's new beginnings for you, as well as new creative projects, ideas and possibilities that you've got the chance to put into fruition, because your ideas and projects can produce fruit. And she's igniting excitement. Life is going to be exciting for you. You might be taking some risks. And there'll be a fierceness to you. And also a fearlessness and courage to take on any challenge. Now, she's really lighting the candle of passion and also bringing creativity and almost like a divine inspiration into your being now. This is a time of very high self-confidence to you, where you really start trusting yourself and your intuition. And there may well be an exciting invitation to some adventure that is awakening real satisfaction for you here. It could also be bringing someone to you who's very influential and able to help you as well. I do get the feeling of new romance here, or deepening love within a commitment, or a good friendship as well. It's a restlessness around you now. It's stirring. You want to make things happen. You've got the ability, you've got the drive, you've got the ambition. And it is a time for inner growth, of exploring your spiritual self. You're comfortable with it, you see, and discovering your bliss. This is awakening your spirit, daring you to express your individuality and personal power. You see, fear is conquered now. This is the time when there are new beginnings and an optimism here for you. You're going to be very energetic, individualistic, brilliant and daring, and very expressive in love, or even in anger, if I may say. And I think the people around you that might be important are Leo, Virgo, and Cancer. You are going to bedazzle people with the beauty that springs up from within you here. People are going to love your character and energy. So what's the next step in your life? Find it fearlessly. Learn about ways of transforming fearful feelings. And say to yourself, I am strong. I am ambitious. I am capable, talented, and beautiful. And that takes us finally, there's another card up here on this horizontal, which is also really good for you and for love, it seems. And here she is, raising her glass or her chalice to the idea of love. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra. There's an emotional freedom for you now, and a great trust in yourself. You'll be very gracious, I think, gentle. Quite romantic in a way. Now, she represents the part of water from cups, and she's earth esoterically. So she's able to give substance to idea and to support life. She can bring about form, as you'll be able to do. Your ideas can bring about form. You are going to be going about your work effortlessly. You'll have a great tenderness with you and gentleness. And she holds that cup up as a hint of the protection that she lovingly assures herself and others. Now she's saying to trust your feelings, your perceptions, because you are on the right path. Is there anything preventing you from being fully free? Because you now have the opportunity to let go of it as well. Say to yourself, the more I love myself, the more I can share with others. Fantastic set of energy for you, and you did a great job. I'm sure you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you, and wasn't the artwork on the cards actually quite haunting and beautiful, don't you think? Yeah, I don't know what I'd done with this deck. I'd lost it for a number of years, and I just found it yesterday. So I want to use it. Now, unless I see you again, well, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again in the same place next month. So until I do see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.